a competitive guy, and I like to play against competitive players and see what happens from there.
Not all Michael Jordans were outstanding. The best of all time was him. He changed NBA history and dominated opponents thanks to his fierce intensity. However, that same tenacity also stoked rivalries, fanned feuds, and caused friction with opponents and teammates. MJ didn't mince words or back down. Jordan embraced hatred with the same fervor that he embraced brilliance, regardless of your feelings for him. Let's examine 6 athletes who, for whatever reason, or someone else ended up on MJ's wrong side. Thomas Isaiah. Isaiah has evolved from Jordan's adversary to his worst enemy. Their conflict didn't start off that way. It lasted for years and characterized the illustrious conflicts between Isaiah's bad boy Pistons and Michael Jordan's Bulls. The Jordan rules, Detroit's tough defensive strategy, were designed to shut him down with unadulterated violence. Who was in charge of this pack? The Pistons' unafraid Isaiah was perceived by point guard Thomas Jordan as cunning and deceptive. Things blew up after the Pistons notoriously refused to shake hands with the Bulls after losing in 1991, following tense playoff games in the late 1980s. In retrospect, I took it personally. Jordan remarked in The Last Dance. The 1992 Olympic Dream Team snub, however, was the largest effect. One of the most famous rosters in basketball history did not have Isaiah. Despite being among the league's top guards, there are rumors that, "I'm not playing if he's on the team," Jordan declared to team officials. MJ hasn't confirmed this, but his disdain was clear when he said decades later, "You tell me I'm a bad guy. No, you are the villain." Even today, Isaiah demands an apology, while Jordan dismisses him entirely, calling him a hole in the last dance. Their rivalry is more than just a basketball rivalry.
For the NBA, hey man, we all still eating off.
Interview 41 fin fef 2. Suan tuaon fi bain, thuan fuan fi nai bain, buan tuan teen fin 55 Scotty. The shock of betrayal, Pippen. As a member of the Bulls dynasty, Scotty, Jordan's Batman's Robin, assisted MJ in winning 6 NBA rings. On the court, Pippen and Jordan were the ideal duo, but their relationship was much more complex off it. Tension arose upon its debut, with a strong emphasis on exalting MJ's magnificence while downplaying Pippen's accomplishments. Pippen was unreserved in his criticism of the representation. As he stated in interviews, "Michael wouldn't have won without me, but it looked like it was all about him." He publicly insulted MJ. Pippen's annoyance was caused by years of feeling inferior to Jordan, even throughout their time spent playing. In turn, Scotty's remarks caught MJ off guard. According to reports, he told a buddy, "He's bitter, but he won't admit he needed me." In his well-known statement, "We were never close off the court." Pippen subsequently explained that their connection was more professional than personal. The fans were taken aback. Their relationship serves as evidence that even outstanding pairs can have internal problems. When Gary Payton saw the glove, he laughed. Gary's superb defense earned him the nickname The Glove, which greatly irritated Jordan. Payton was among the rare athletes who had the courage to confront MJ head-on, particularly during the NBA Finals in 1996. Jordan was shaken for the first 2 games of the series by Payton's tough defense. Many people think Payton slowed MJ down. What was Jordan's reaction then? He laughed as he snubbed Payton's accusations in the final dance, saying, "I had no problem with the glove." According to insiders, however, MJ admired Payton's fortitude, but detested the thought of someone interfering with his authority. He hated confrontation that he couldn't control, and I thrived on that, Payton said in interviews, refusing to back down. Even though the Payton-Seattle Supersonics were defeated by MJ's Bulls, they continue to have one of the most interesting individual battles in the game. Will Perdue, when teammates turn into targets for abuse. Jordan wasn't only hard on rivals, he treated his comrades even more harshly. And the 7-foot center for the Chicago Bulls, Will Perdue, learned this the hard way. According to reports, MJ lost his temper and punched Perdue in the face after a particularly stressful practice in the early 1990s. Why? Jordan didn't like that Perdue had been setting screens during scrimmages that he believed were too rough and almost unlawful. It was just another instance of Michael's brutality. Who you were didn't matter to him. Perdue subsequently said in interviews that he would let you know, sometimes with his fists, if he thought you weren't giving 110%. The fight turned into one of several tales of MJ's compulsive need for perfection periodically erupting. It may sound harsh to hit a teammate, but when it came to winning, MJ wasn't known for patience. It's interesting that Perdue accepted it. He didn't harbor resentment, and subsequently acknowledged that, despite its harshness, Jordan's strategy typically produced outcomes. Perdue remarked, "I wasn't upset about it for long. Michael was merely putting us to the test. He was curious about our tolerance because, in his perspective, that's what becoming a champion meant." Jordan's leadership style on the Bulls was characterized by that ferocity. If it resulted in better on-court results, he didn't mind stirring things up. Perdue later helped the Bulls win 3 NBA titles, which was probably influenced by Michael Jordan's unwavering pursuit of greatness, even if it meant taking a beating. The adversary who talks trash, Reggie Miller. Miller had the ability to irritate MJ. When Miller shoved Jordan in midair during a game in 1993, it was their most notorious altercation. A brawl broke out shortly after MJ gave him a nasty glance and landed hard. Although the officials intervened, the rivalry survived for many years. Miller was referred to by Jordan as a nasty player who depended more on his speech than his skill. "It was my job to mess with him, and I loved every second of it," Miller said in interviews, demonstrating his enjoyment of getting under MJ's skin. Knowing that it annoyed the very competitive superstar, he lived on trash talk. However, Miller was unable to stop MJ from controlling their matches despite the mental tricks. The tension between two of the league's most captivating characters was heightened by their intense and intimate clashes. The joke of MJ's leadership was Stacey King. Recognized for his bulk and lively disposition, he gained the MJ gave him the cruel moniker Doughboy, which highlighted his early league weight and conditioning issues. Name-calling wasn't the only thing Jordan did. Stacey related how MJ would constantly harass him during sessions, calling him out in front of the squad if he failed to put in enough effort or missed assignments. In subsequent interviews, King joked that he would constantly attack me. But Mike was precisely like that. If you didn't live up to his expectations, he would let you know. King famously celebrated after making just one free throw during a game. Additionally, Jordan is said to, "You're excited about one free throw, and I scored 30 points tonight," he remarked, turning to face him. Take it seriously. Although it seemed harsh, King acknowledged that Jordan's unwavering motivation eventually motivated him to put in more effort. "You hated it in the moment," King added, "but in retrospect, it strengthened you and helped us win titles," and reprimanded by every participant. They still make fun of me for that, huh? Over the years, King and Jordan respected one another despite their frequent disparaging remarks. King even attributes his long-term success on and off the court to the mental toughness he developed because of Jordan. However, one of MJ's most well-known jokes is still Stacey, which serves as a reminder that Jordan's unwavering competitiveness and high standards applied to everyone, including his teammates. The depths of MJ's character and his incapacity for forgiveness are revealed by these rivalries. Regardless of your feelings toward him, one thing is certain. Jordan not only ruled basketball, but also the relationships that surrounded it. Okay, that concludes this one. Thank you for viewing. Please share your opinions in the comments section. See you in the upcoming.